Alright, hey guys, this is going to be a kind of quick tutorial on how to start the iFly 737 from cold and dark. I'm sitting at Winnipeg's airport right now. It's going to be kind of basic, really basic. This is the way I fly all my flights in this 737. I've flown about log 300 hours in this with my VA, so this is a route that I'm doing from Winnipeg to Las Vegas. This will apply to all of the iFly 737s. The cockpits are all the same. This 737-600, which I usually don't fly a lot, but this is actually the one that's on my route, so it's the one I'm required to, but I usually fly 700 and 800s. They're all the same. It's a pretty basic tutorial, so you don't really need to know a lot about flying, but it's good to know, the basics and how to work it. But the cold and dark tutorial is pretty basic. This will include with the FMC and get the engine started, and you can taxi out and do all your own stuff on your own. I'd appreciate if any trolls out there want to comment and try to correct me on anything. Just hold it to yourselves. It's the way I like to fly. I'm sure there's many other different ways you could do certain things. I don't use VNav, I use LNav, just so you know, so we're not going to be doing the whole program, the FMC, with everything that you need, just the basics. So you're going to open the forward overhead, and you're going to get all these. Everything's off right now, so you're going to see this battery. You're going to click on. I'm going to turn the panel lights on first because we're at it's the morning. Standby power, you're going to switch that to auto, and then you're going to go down here to bus transfer to auto. Go down the bottom here, it's going to say APU. It's on off. You're going to click it to on and then start one more time. So you activate start twice. You notice this little knob right here will start, not knob, but the it'll start going up here, and it'll go all the way up and it'll start going down. And let's see what else we could turn on. I'll just go down by straight. Let's turn the positions on steady. No smoking and fast seatbelts on. Window heat. Don't turn your probe heats on yet. I'll turn the hydraulic pumps on. Left pack, you're going to switch that to auto. Right pack, you switch that to auto. The isolation valve, it's on open, click that to auto. Recirc fan, click that to auto. And then the engine 1 bleed, APU bleed, and engine 2 bleed. And as you can see, this is starting to go down right here, and it'll stop. And you'll start to hear a really loud noise. That's when you know to turn on your APU generators. And there it is. So now it's going to go back up, and you're going to see these there's a Gen 1, then there's Gen 2 over here, but you see the APU gen right here, these two middle ones. You're going to switch those to on, and then you're going to start noticing some other things turn on. And now I have everything. You have to align the IRS to get all this. So you're going to go to AFT overhead. This is really easy with the IRS. You see the IRS, the left and the right. You're just going to switch both knobs to nav. And you close that. And now we're going to move on to the FMC. This could be really fast. It's really fast for me once you get it down. It's really fast. It's pretty easy to learn too. We're going to go to indent. This will just give you your model information and all that garbage. Nothing really necessary. Last position. This is necessary to align the IRS. So you're just going to click the knob next to it that it's on. It should be on the right. And you're just going to go down here to the one that's a set IRS point. Then we're going to go to route. You could go up here to keyboard. Now keyboard's activated, so I'm going to type everything in here. We're at CYWG, and then it's going to say origin and destination. We are at Winnipeg, so I'm going to put that in the CYWG, and the destination is Las Vegas. The destination, our flight number is WestJet 95. You're going to click activate, and then execute right here. Then we are going to go to, I'm going to go to legs down here. This is my first, I like to always do legs. I'll post a link on the bottom to get waypoints from, you just put in the departure and the arrival airport, it'll give you all the waypoints. And you could use sim routes, but it doesn't always work for airports out of the country. There's not a lot on the database, and I'm in Canada right now. There might be a route Canada, Las Vegas, but when you go to Europe, if you are Japan, Australia, I fly a lot to Europe, and they don't seem to have a lot of the routes over there. So I'll post it in there, and you just write down the waypoints in order. This is my first waypoint. You're gonna type it in and then push it on the first one. You notice it's gonna say execute, but I'm just gonna put them all in and then click execute. So let's just do this. Oh, and then when you type in a waypoint, there might be two. I always click the one on top. That's usually the closest one. This one's you could tell it's on it's a way different position. And just to make sure that the waypoint is correct, you'll see how many nautical miles it is away from the previous one. This one's 54 and the next one is 8, so it's 8 nautical miles away from that waypoint, which you know it's pretty close. If you ever get something that's like 1,000, 2,000 nautical miles, that's when you know it's the wrong waypoint, and you'll have to delete it by clicking this DL, and then you could just click the waypoint. I just deleted it, but I'll re-enter it. Now we got that down, let me enter all the waypoints. Okay, now we have all of them. You can see I entered my last one, Las Vegas. Even though that says 200, you might get freaked out because if this is your first time, but that's 200, 300, 400, those are all common, but anytime you get, you know, in the thousands, you might want to make sure you're going on the right track. As you can tell, the IRS automatically aligns itself. You can move this knob right here. It's on 5, 10, 20, 40, 80, 60, 320, and 640, and I always put it 640 so you kind of see where I'm going to go. Let's contact departure. You have to unactivate keyboard, by the way, just so you could use your keyboard. Otherwise, it's just going to keep using the FMC. We're going to contact them for departure to see what runway I'm going to depart from. I'm going to set my speed 250 under 10,000 feet. I have the FMC fly the routes, the waypoints. I don't have it do all the altitude and stuff. I like to do that on my own. I just go straight up to 3,000. I always do I never do IFR on Flight Simulator. The air traffic on this is really crappy. I don't like doing it, so I just do the VFRs, just contacting them. Runway 16. Although if the weather's really bad, they won't let you. They'll make you do an IFR. So what we're gonna do is go to departure arrival page, DEPARR. Let's go to depart from CYWG, and we're departed from 3-1 and click execute. And now on your map, there's 3-1, and we're gonna be taking off, and it kind of gives you the plane a better understanding. Then we're going to go to the initial ref page, INIT ref. I don't know if I'm saying that right, initial. That's what I just call it. It's just and activate the keyboard again. You have to get your gross weight. You could do that in the options fuel and payload. Mine's 127.0. I've already done my fuel. I'm going to need 25,000 pounds. I'll post a link on the bottom. It's a really good site, especially for 737s, getting the right fuel. My reserves are 7.7 with 6,000. Cost index, I always put 75. Certain airlines have different ones. I just put 75. My cruise altitude, I always do 310. A lot of other people do higher. You know, you go up to 380. That's pretty common. 35. I'm pretty sure that's normal. I've always done 310 since I've started flying, you know, 4 years ago on this thing, and it's just my preference. For flaps, I'm going to do 10. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you how to get there. From your initial reference page, I don't know where it went. Oh, here we go. You're going to go from here. You're going to enter in your gross weight. The zero fuel weight will automatically, the fuel will automatic. You have to put your reserves in. If you don't know what the reserves are, when you use the link, it'll tell you the RSV, that's reserves. EFU is estimated fuel use. Add them both up. That's how you get the total. If you don't know the reserves, I used to just put 3, 4. 7.6 is pretty common actually though. 7, 8 is pretty normal. FAA requires you to have an hour of reserve fuel just in case. Then we're going to go to N1 limit. Just leave this page. Go to takeoff. I use my flaps as 10. Don't go over 15. I don't know. Some people do 2, 5, 10. It's just I always do that. Then you're going to see the V1, VR, and V2 speeds. To activate those, click on them. They'll get bigger, and that's how you know you activated them. And that is the takeoff reference. That's finished, and now it says pre-flight complete, so now we're done with the whole FMC. Also, if you want to make sure you have enough fuel, go to the progress page. This is what you could go to in mid-flight, and it tells you when I land at Las Vegas, I'm going to have 8.6 fuel. My reserves are 7.6, so it's pretty accurate fuel, and that will change periodically throughout the flight, but it's pretty accurate actually. Probably after I take off it might go down to 8.0, but always check this in flight. If it ever gets to 0, then you're pretty much screwed, and you got to figure out some way to get to your place. My VA doesn't allow us to, obviously we can't refuel in midair. Now we're going to close that. You're going to see the auto brake right down here. Click that to RTO. I'm going to take off the jetway, close the door, and now we're going to start up the engines, our last part of the tutorial. Turn all your fuel pumps on. If you don't have any fuel in the center pumps, if you're just flying a really short route, then you're not going to need to turn those on. Push back here. Let's see which way I'm going. Not very far pushback. I just use basic pushback. I'm not too realistic with that. Now we're going to go to overhead. You're going to have to turn the left pack off and the right pack off. Just turn those off. Keep everything else on. So turn off and off. You make sure those switches are up to off. Ignition to the right. Always turn the right engine on first. And it's going to be on off right now. You're going to change it to GRD. And you're going to notice right down here, it's going to start changing numbers. It's going to start going up really slow. So you're going to have to go to the throttle. And let me close that. And you're going to see 1 and 2 on cutoff. Change the 2. Click on the 2. It'll go to idle. After you're done with this, don't ever click these in mid-flight, because if you put it to cutoff, that's how you turn the engines off, by the way. So now you're going to notice it's going to start going up rapidly, and you're going to start hearing the engines turn on. Sometimes if you watch on the outside, you'll see the smoke come out. And now that engine is on, so we're going to go to there, and it's going to go back up to off. I would turn it to CONT, but I just leave it to off. I mean, for realistic, put it on the continual page. I think that's for takeoff, just in case something happens. Oh, this truck might ram into me. Might. This is what I say about it. It's not very realistic with its procedures. We're just gonna. And then right here, put the parking brake on if you ever stop pushback, just because. Now we're going to do the same thing, ignition left and then GRD to the left, and watch it go up. Also, you have to remember, go to the throttle, cut off to idle. If you forget that, then it's just going to stay there, and you're going to be probably yelling at your computer. But make sure you have the pack switches off. A lot of the times, people will forget to turn those packs off, and it's not going to move at all, and you're going to probably be yelling at your computer again. Or if the probes are on, that will not allow you to. It will not allow you to start the engines. So just make sure you have everything set. Now you can tell engine 1 and engine 2 are on. Oops, did not mean to turn that on. So now we're going to go back to the overhead panel. We're going to turn the generator 1 and generator 2 off. Now you can see APU gen off bus, meaning we don't need the APU anymore. So you can go down APU, click off to that. Now you turn your probes on, turn the engine 1 bleed off, APU bleed off, and engine 2 bleed off. All the bleed switches to off. You're never going to turn those on again. APU, turn the APU on when you land. Put your yaw dampers on and switch the left pack to auto, and this recirc fan, I honestly don't know what that really does. I would just keep it on auto. But these things are always... I mean, someone can enlighten me on what that means. I don't know. Make sure you turn your taxi lights on and position strobe and steady. So the position lights, strobe and steady, we put on steady earlier, and ignition to both. And now you are ready to taxi out. And hope this tutorial was helpful for you guys. I should get it done at the 15-minute limit. You can do it really quick. If you write down everything and get it done, and you fly 7 times a week, by the end of the week you'll have this on lock, and I get this done in about 4 minutes at full speed. Some of the longer routes, so you're gonna have to put a lot of waypoints in, but let me know if you guys want to. Oh, gotta put your flaps. Sorry about that. Let me know if you guys want a video on the ILS tutorial with this, or a takeoff tutorial on how to do that. But subscribe and like, and message me for any more tutorials. I will be uploading a level D Cold and Dark video soon, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, hope you enjoyed and hope this helped.